So if you're a fan of mine, you probably know that I enjoy actual Jake's content. I saw Jake cover this guy recently, whose name is also Jake, coincidentally, Jake Monroe. And he likes to come off as like this punk rock sort of goth type.
Who's like super against the lefties and like the establishment leftists, right? Going against the grain, being transphobic.
When literally nobody else is ever transphobic, ever. You can ask trans people, they've never encountered transphobes in their lives. So he's really going against the grain here. And he has this video called "The TikTok Situation is Getting Weird" with all caps. So I wanted to go over it because I thought it would be entertaining. Let's take a look.
TikTok could not be under the ownership of China because the CCP, Chinese Communist Party, the CCP that owns it, or potentially could have influence on it, basically collecting people's data and spying on the American citizens, or even influencing the...
Wait, but the U.S. government also does that. Like, the U.S. government also, like, correct me if I'm wrong, the U.S. government does, in fact, sell user data to companies, right? Like, companies already have all of our data is the point.
Young Americans with propaganda from China, like, this will destabilize them. So Donald Trump came in and was like, it has to be repurchased. It won't just be banned entirely like Joe Biden said it was going to be. Trump came in and was like, it could be repurchased. If someone in America buys it, then it can be saved that way. Keep in mind, this was all around the time that the narrative on TikTok was bad and we love Palestine, right? Regardless of how you feel about that, primarily
was what bad?
We love Palestine. This was all around the time that the narrative on TikTok was bad and
what bad?
Was
Jews bad? Oh, Jews bad. Jews bad and we love Palestine. Oh yeah, no, that's totally the same thing, man. For sure.
Bad and we love Palestine, right? Regardless of how you feel about that, primarily the focus was on the fact that Israel was being exposed for being poo-poo heads. And everyone on that platform had turned
poo-poo heads.
Exposed for being poo-poo heads.
Is he reading a script? He's reading, right? Like, he's clearly reading.
Feel about that. Primarily, the focus was on the fact that Israel was being exposed for being poo-poo heads. And everyone on that platform had turned on real big. So when Trump came forward and suggested that someone in the U.S.
No, maybe he's not reading. He just, like, has this weird, like, disconnected look on his face, sort of.
Should purchase it in order to get rid of CCP influence on TikTok. Guess who bought it? His name's Larry. Wouldn't you know it? Can't search for meddling. You can't search for people talking about how run everything. You can't do that anymore since they bought it. That series of events leads me to believe a few things. Number one, they do run everything. And number two, they most definitely...
But also, like, the people who bought it made it so that you can't even talk about how Palestine, like how what Israel is doing to Palestine. Or I guess you can't talk about Jeffrey Epstein anymore either on there. I've been on a few TikTok debate panels since then, and like they are so careful about everything now because you just can't talk about anything. Like, you can't talk about Epstein, you can't talk about gay or trans people, you can't talk about what else, you can't talk about Trump. Well, you can't talk about Trump as long as it's good stuff. You can talk about Trump, but you can't talk about, like, obviously they're going to ban you for anti-Semitism, but also like Israel and Palestine. Like, if you talk about it at all, they like, I've noticed suspiciously if you're pro-Israel, they will be less likely to ban you. But you know, that is interesting. The Israeli government or Netanyahu is representing the will of the people. It's just the people are kind of racist and need deprogramming. Yeah. Just because it's the will of the people doesn't make it good. I worry this guy's tattoos were made with lead paint. That's pretty good.
Lost control of the narrative because people are just like, why is everyone like going anti-Semitic all of a sudden? Why is everyone hating on the Tiny Hat Boys? Where's this coming from?
The Tiny Hat Boys?
They must be...
Not an anti-Semite, by the way. I'm sorry. Tiny Hat Boys is not itself anti-Semitic, but it's giving anti-Semitism for sure.
Orchestrating this, they must be manufacturing this for some reason. And it's like, no, I think they actually did lose control of the narrative. I think one too many things got leaked, or one too many things were covered, or one voice too many was talking about what Israel was up to. Nick Fuentes, ironically, has a lot to do with this, I think, as well. And the left and the right, all at the same time, kind of went, oh yeah.
Left and right, both sides.
They are. I wonder where else they are. They're everywhere. Oh my goodness. What percentage of the population are they again? 2%? Whoa, shit. Then they absolutely should not make more than 2% of all of these organizations. But they're the majority of them. This is
We are
worrying.
blessed with the presence of Platinum Politics' very own on God I Love Water. I'm pretty sure he's not present in that server anymore, but hello, welcome.
And then you had the left as well that were just like, my precious Palestine, my precious Palestine. Oh, the
Yeah.
Israelis, leave my little Palestine alone. So
I mean, they are literally killing people en masse there, so, you know, that's pretty serious.
that's why they were jumping on the we hate in Israel thing. And I think they absolutely lost control of the narrative. And that is why Trump was probably told
Did we get a raid?
to not delete TikTok, but to resell it
I don't think we
to
did.
it so that they can change the narrative on TikTok so that they can reestablish control over
I
the
thought he was going to be reacting to TikToks. Okay, he will be, I think. I don't know, this is kind of boring.
Goyim. I honestly think that's what the fuck
The
has just
Goyim,
happened.
okay,
because
yeah, he is.
This all kind of happened and not too many people talked about it. Like, people were all up in arms whenever it was like, oh, TikTok's gonna be banned, and everyone was just like, oh god, no, oh, freedom of speech, even though
Okay, I was like, personally, I was like, I don't give a because I didn't use TikTok very much at the time that they were talking about banning it. And I still am kind of like, I don't give a I don't really care. You know, I can understand why people would. And the reason that they were talking about banning it is because there was so much pro-Palestine, anti-Zionist stuff going on it. Like, that's what triggered the ban talk.
that's not what that means. You are not owed a social media platform to talk bollocks, okay? You're not owed that. It's not a right to have that. It's a privilege. And you
Hold on.
know, people are just like, oh, Trump's owned and Trump's working for the Israelis and he's working for the because of the Iran situation. But of
Why does
course,
he keep censoring the word Jews? Are you not allowed to say that on Twitch or YouTube or something? Oh, wait, I didn't even notice the chat. Oy vey. My timeline is still very much talking about the hats. Goy talk. Yeah, no, this is anti-Semitic for sure.
the Iran situation is muddled with all sorts of other geopolitics. Like, Iran did actually have a nuclear program several times, or at least twice in the last 6 months. You know, that's
I don't think that's true. I'm pretty sure that's just false. Like, they had a nuclear program. Okay, wait, I'm wrong. They had a nuclear program, I think, but it wasn't to get a nuclear bomb, right? Like a nuclear weapon. It's just to get nuclear energy, right? That's what it was for. And like, they agreed not to. Like, they under Obama, they had an agreement that they would not have a nuclear program anymore, which I think is stupid. But Donald Trump like did away with that, and so that's kind of what started all this with Iran, if I understand correctly. Like, I'm sure there's other stuff going on, and that's a way of an oversimplification. And I got a lot of studying to do, but that's my understanding.
that all girls school had to be bombed, you know, all that kind of stuff. And Israeli IDF troops were refusing to put boots on the ground, but the Americans, they had to do it. So a lot of people were like, oh my god, I knew it.
Banning TikTok would be censoring our free speech. It was pretty dumb that the US government was doing that. Yeah, I guess. Will of the people is not completely true. There are a lot of anti-Zionist Jews in Israel as well that get shut down, and the media companies is under control by the government. Oh yeah, no, it's what is it called? Manufactured consent, for sure. Not to use the phrase of somebody who like was prominently in the Epstein files. And probably like, and giving Epstein advice apparently, but you know, he was correct about that. The fuck's his name? Noam Chomsky, right?
But it's like, if you think back, Trump was the one who initially proposed that TikTok should be bought by an American company. And for everyone, including myself, the alarm bells were going off, where it was like, I wonder who's gonna buy it. And then sure enough, bought it. And now I saw a video recently
straight up
that showed that
anti-Semitic.
you
Cool.
absolutely, and I don't know if this is still the case, but it was
So
this
like, we hate Palestine and we hate Jews. Pretty cool, pretty good stuff.
guy
Very punk rock of him, by the way.
trying to search control everything on this new TikTok, and you couldn't do it. It wouldn't show you it. I was like,
Because
why
it's
are people not
anti-Semitic.
talking about this? And this is how I know that liberals are brain dead, because their entire moral structure revolves around Palestine, not the actual depths of, not the real reaches of their meddling, only how it pertains to Palestine. It's the only
Yeah, it's called being anti-Zionist, not anti-Semitic. You're just an anti-Semitic Nazi, bro. Like, Nazis are not welcome in punk rock circles. I hope you know that. Like, you would be kicked, you would be instantly, like, if anybody knew who you were, you'd be instantly kicked out of, like, any, like, punk rock gathering that you go to.
thing they care
Not
about.
that it would take long for them to understand who you are and what you're about, probably, because, you know, people like him don't shut the up about it ever.
But are the poor little Muslims okay? Is pretty much what. So if it's not revolving around that, they don't care.
They're not all Muslims,
and because
by the
TikTok
way.
is primarily
Everybody thinks that, like, everybody in Palestine is a Muslim. They're not all Muslims, and even if they were all Muslims, it's still up what's happening to them, by the way. Okay, but plenty of them are Christian. Plenty of them are, there's another religion that I read in that article. I can't remember what it's called. But there are even, like, churches that have been bombed by Israel. Okay, so it's not just about them being Muslim, it's about them being primarily Arab, first of all. And second of all, it doesn't matter if they're all Muslim.
leftist. In fact, I didn't even see people on X talk about it too much. It was Instagram, ironically. It was ironically Instagram that I found out that this is what happened. Search it right now? Yeah, fuck it. Let's see if it works. So if I type in Christians control the world, it's right here. Okay, you've got all this. All right, so if you type in Christians control the world, everything comes up. In fact, I even got a search suggestion to fill in what I was typing. I type in control, and the search suggestion bar just emptied. Watch this, right? Christians.
It's almost like there's like a history and a precedent of, if you're a person who says Jews control the world, you're probably like, yeah, by the way, saying Christians control the world is also not, like, accurate, okay? And also not something that I particularly think you should be saying, because it's not Christians either. It's fucking billionaires, first of all. Okay, but second of all, there's not like this precedent that's saying like, you can't compare the two. There is a historical precedent that Jews, if you say Jews control the world, you are probably a Nazi and want to exterminate Jews. Okay? I also don't think you should be saying it about Christians. I don't think that Christians should be exterminated. Okay? But it doesn't have that same precedent. You don't understand history. The Ayatollah released a fatwa in 2003 forbidding the creation and use of nuclear weapons. Literally, their leader of the country and their religious sect said don't do that, but the Chuds are like, haha, funny Muslim are making a nuke, haha, despite literally the equivalent of their pope and their president in the same person saying they're not going to do that. Okay, well then there you go. In 2003, they literally said we are not going to make a nuclear weapon. In fact, it's against our religion to make a nuclear weapon. So this guy's a mega Nazi. It seems that way, yeah.
Yeah. So if I type in that, it says Christians control, and then it fills in control the world. Okay, it fills it in for me, and I can just search this. Now let's try this. Okay. Control. Done.
Oh my god, no! Guys!
It literally deletes
guys!
the suggested search. Now
What are we
let's see
gonna
if it actually brings
do?
anything up.
TikTok doesn't let Nazis on their platform. Oh no, guys, what are we gonna do? That's crazy.
Up, shall we? Because it might.
What are we gonna do? This is impeding on my freedom of speech. Not as a Nazi or anything. I'm not a Nazi, but like, you know, if I were.
Why is no one talking about this? Where was the outrage? These stupid, selfish leftist dipshits were all up in arms about TikTok being deleted. No, we want it to be owned by China, I guess. Communist Party. Yeah, we want to be spied on. And then whenever two bought it, no one said anything because now they get to keep making their little stupid fucking TikToks.
Melangores, don't worry about it.
This is the only meddling they're doing on TikTok? You think the only thing that they're stopping you from doing is searching control the world? They are going to be drastically restructuring kids' brains with this new algorithm they're going to be putting in.
Unlike me, who wants to make sure that children understand that Jews control the world and we need World War III, Holocaust 2, Electric Boogaloo.
You know they have completely changed the algorithm. You know they have. If you, over the next couple of years, notice that Gen Zs or Gen Alphas are acting in a very specifically weird way out of seemingly nowhere, it's because the TikTok algorithm is going to be changed to control the Goyim cattle. That's why they're doing this. This is not just about stopping you from searching things. This is about entirely changing.
By the way, he also would have been shuffled into a camp in World War II just for how he dresses.
The things that kids are exposed to. I can't believe that's real. They lost control.
Like, it is because, just so you know, it is because of leftists and progressives that you can dress this way and people will not, like, you won't be thrown in a camp, okay? It is specifically because of leftists and progressives. There was a time and place where you would have been lynched for this, okay? And that's from conservatives. I'm just letting you know that. Punk rock is explicitly anti-establishment, and the establishment at the moment is not leftist, okay? You can argue it's liberal, but it's certainly not progressive or leftist.
All of the narrative on TikTok. Trump was then probably ordered to be like, you can purchase TikTok, we can keep it going, people like TikTok, and then the were like, thanks, Donnie, and then they bought it, and then they did this. So this is the beginning of it, okay?
Melangors, the more attention you give them, the less they leave you alone.
This is the start. So far, all they've done is that. The next couple of years, the TikTok algorithm is going to be propaganda. It's going to be
lizard
propaganda. It's going to be...
Did you just say lizard?
lizard
Propaganda. It's going to be subversion,
lizard
coercion,
nothing
and
wrong with
manipulation. And it's going to make sure that the kids of the next couple of years are going to...
Time to embrace national. I wonder what that's finished with. I wonder what they were meaning to finish that with. It's straight up fight between commies, Jews, and Islam. Definitely not a Nazi thing to say. They're chancing the narrative like they've been doing after 45. His chat is full of straight up Nazis. This is crazy.
Plug back into the Matrix. They're going to reprogram everything.
Matrix.
The narrative that they lost briefly...
Okay, I think I'm good. He's got nothing of value to say. That was Jake Monroe. I didn't know that he was a straight up Nazi. I thought that would be a video going over TikToks, but alas, I was a bit disappointed. But we did learn something. Hi, thanks so much for watching and making it to the end of the video. I just wanted to let you all know that I love and appreciate everybody in my community, whether you can support me financially or just by liking, commenting, and sharing my videos. It helps way more than you know. That being said, I do want to give a very special thanks to my tier 4 subs, which would be Space Timid and Hot Take Andy. And thanks so much to my monetary subscribers from any of the tiered subs or anybody who gives me money in any form, including going to my Patreon shop, donating money to me directly. It all helps way more than you know. If you do decide to help me financially, you can get some really cool perks like early access to content, exclusive access to censored videos, also some really cool badges next to your name. Even if you can't afford a monetary subscription, just watching, sharing, and commenting on my content helps way more than you know. Thanks again, and I will see you all in the next video.